Hey everybody, we're going to start this video real quick. This is going to be sponsored by Quadlock. Grab yourself a Quadlock, link in the description for a discount. Click the link, but we're going to talk about helmets a little bit later. So, Liquor Chronicles.
This rider was switching lanes, not expecting the next lane to be stopped.
Not expecting them to be stopped. Whoa, line of sight problem. You guys know how it is, a line of sight problem. Was able to apply the brakes. It looks like we started slipping and sliding a little bit. Slipping and sliding a little bit. So we're coming up to here. We have an open lane for ourselves, but we want to switch lanes probably to go left. Okay, so you notice how we have a line of sight issue right here. We don't know it's around this corner. We don't know if people are slowing down or stopping. So when we do this, we want to slow it down just a teeny tiny bit. Now we see the problem. Okay, now he has his hands on the brakes, so that's great. We're in orange stage. He's doing some progressive braking. So now we put our hands. Let's go back because look at this. Look at his left hand. He had it off.
Not expecting
I think he was waving. So he's waving at them, but he's just kind of relaxing. Now put your hands back on. There we go. Reached real quick. Now at this point, do we have good total stopping distance? Probably. He's got a pretty good bike. He's going to apply the brakes. Hopefully he's going to do some really good braking. But if he couldn't stop in time, what do you guys think he should be doing? If he couldn't stop in time, we should be aiming for this. Aim for that escape. Aim for that escape. Ooh, almost lost it. Almost lost it. Got very, 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 very lucky on that one. Yeah, it was probably indicating turning left, but use your indicators. Gotta thread the lane exactly, Blade. Action Factory, here we go. Let's see what happens. What? A little uncommon.
Sending it straight for the rider.
Uncommon thing in a common situation.
To avoid it.
That's the most random thing ever. So we're coming up to here. We're going 105. And then this just lost the tread. Just lost the tread. What the heck?
Tire peeled off the car, sending it straight for the rider.
Got very lucky. So that was a road surface hazard. A little road surface hazard. Got very lucky. It's their problem now. We've seen this one going a little too fast in the corner. Wasn't paying attention and lost some traction. You see the fishtailing going on, and we applied the brakes. Before this happened, this motorcycle rider passed somebody at a high speed and wasn't able to slow down beforehand. Got lucky though. Look at easily could have smashed your shin on that rock. Oof. All right, here we go. Intersections. Brakes, brake, brake, brakes. Open lane pattern. You could barely see it because it was looking at the rider at first, but let's take a look at this one real quick. So we know for a fact that this person's going to be going into an intersection, okay? Intersection right here. And I'm sorry you lost somebody that you cared about. So an intersection coming up. There it is. So we're in orange stage, prepped and ready. Now, from their view, they can see a lot better. But what we saw just after this, because that's the point of the after action, is that it was an open lane pattern. Okay, open lane pattern. So we see that. We should anticipate some of these things. We should be finding our escape paths. We're in orange stage already, so we're covering the brakes. We're constantly looking for things. We're planning our ride. We're positioned for safety. We talk about all this in the Basic Smart Rider course, which Unit 2 just went out. So right now it is May 9th when you guys get to watch this live, but Unit 2 went out this last weekend. Okay, so it's Tuesday. It went out, I think, Saturday. And there should be an email. So if you're an MTC Rider Academy, you should have got an email. So right here, we're like, oh no. So we apply the brakes, and we moved towards the outside. So applying the brakes wasn't going to stop us in time, but it was going to buy us some time to be able to move off to the side. You hear the little chatter though? Let's take a look. Listen to the bike. ABS kicked in. So that's one of the big reasons why I believe everybody at this point should have ABS, should have rider aids on their bike. Harley seems to, I don't know if they're doing it now. It's been a while since I've had a Harley, but there's plenty of bikes out there that don't have ABS, and you can get the option to have it or not. Sometimes it's only $400 or $500 over the course of your loan. I'm going to add ABS.
Don't you just
very lucky.
When drivers do that, instead of stopping, the driver went around the other vehicle.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. Got to get ourselves out of there. Got to find that escape path, apply those brakes, paying attention. You have ABS on your... Okay, good. Superbike Discovery. It's been a while since I've seen this rider. Low side. Ooh, high side. Ooh. So high side's kind of different, but this is where you want to do your skill level. You want to increase your skill gap, refine them, add new skills when we're at a track. All right, Rico, here we go.
This biker had a close call with the driver.
We just saw this one. Let's move on. We just saw this one. Here we go. Oh, we got some snow. We got a crest of the hill. We got snow. So when we're talking about planning a ride, locating hazardous situations, this is hazardous because we have the temperature that's going to remove our body heat. And on top of this, it's going to be a little bit slippery, possibly. Whoa, side of the vehicle. Great job with the braking. Handled it. Little KLR. I missed my KLR. Mules on wheels. Here we go. Going around the corner. Watch out for any road surface hazards that can take your traction. Don't lean it too hard. Don't accelerate. Don't accelerate. Don't accelerate. He was leaning really hard and is starting to accelerate more and more and more. Okay, anyways, we got a helmet video, which is going to be sponsored by Quadlock. So thank you, Quadlock. This is Unit 2, Lesson 2. I'm sorry, Unit 2, Lesson 1 in the BSR. But let's go ahead and jump into this. We got 45 seconds. So half helmets. Do not even get a half helmet. It's only going to protect the base of your skull. In fact, this is what it looks like when it protects you. Any skin that's going to be open right there, not protected. Do you plan on landing on the top of your head and spinning around like, you know, a break dancer when you're in a crash? No, hope not. And plus, you're going to have spinal injuries there. 3/4 helmet, it's going to cover everything except for your face. You want to protect your face. You want to protect your airway. So I don't recommend 3/4 helmets. I recommend modular and full face helmets. Full face helmets because it's going to protect everything. It's going to protect your face, protect your chin. And in a crash, it's going to protect all of this. It's going to mitigate a lot of injuries. Modular helmets, full face helmet, when it's fully down, you can pop it up when you're stopped or when you go inside to get something to drink or eat. Highly recommend getting one of these. Let's move on. Thank you, Quadlock, for sponsoring that MTC lesson. Grab yourself one. Links in the description for some Quadlock stuff.
Turn too wide.
All right. Too wide. Oh, no. This is why we need helmet. Oh, he got wrapped around that pole. He hit that pole. You see that? This is why we wear a helmet.
He ends up taking the turn too wide.
What's a typical reason why somebody takes a turn too wide? Write it in the comments. So there's the dump. We didn't hit anything, so he slammed the brakes. He dumped the bike. He's going to now slide. Okay, we hit our head. This is why we wear a full face. As soon as he hits oh, I was in the way. He instantly stops because he hits the piece of wood. Wrapped around that piece of wood. That's what's going to get you. That's what's going to get you. The sudden deceleration, not the crash. The sudden deceleration. All right, Hayden R. Hayden R1. These guys are going pretty fast. It's a big group ride. Oh, what? Oh. Whoa. So here's the thing. These lines, and I think we did this back in the day. Okay, these lines are like 20 feet long. Okay, these lines are 20 feet long. They don't look like it when you're passing and traveling because you're going so fast, but they're about 20 feet long. In between each line, I think somebody did the math and it was like 33 feet. Like 30 to 40 feet. So you have 20 feet, let's say 30 feet. So combined, this is 50 feet, right? So 50 feet. Try your best to count how many of these lines in the 50 feet that he was sliding. This is why we wear full gear. This is why we wear full gear. This is why we wear full gear. Just in case. How many feet? How many feet is this? How many feet? Can you count? Can you count how many feet that is? That's road rash. That's abrasions. That's level 2, level 3 road rash. Skins being ripped off. Impacts all over the body. That's well over a football field. Well over a football field. Probably like 2 or 3 of them. 2 or 3 football fields.
You good?
Look at.
Hey.
Ripped up and everything. His clothes.
It's all that matters.
He got very lucky.
How's the rider doing?
He's good. He's good. Yeah.
This is where we rescue each other. Okay, they're rescuing each other. Very good. Get off the road. You notice how we're standing in the road? Get off the road.
More bummed about the bike than anything.
Ensure your own safety, guys. Don't get hit.
That goes down is about the same thing as that too. He got the fairing right here. I don't know if he wants that, but.
All right, Rich Pandas. Wear some gloves, buddy. Wear some gloves. Side of the vehicle, side of the vehicle, side of the vehicle. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Moving on. Not a big deal. No. You guys saw that ahead of time. Okay, so when we're going to do a road rage incident, we're going to go ahead and talk about Quadlock. We don't do road rage stuff. We want to make sure that we focus on the positive, which is Quadlock, because they support this channel. They allow a lot of this training to be free. Links in the description for some discounts. Check it out.
All
right, what's happening here?
He has a really close.
Whoa. Intersection, orange stage, guys. Come on. We shouldn't be going this fast. Ooh, locked up the rear tire, found an escape, was able to get through. He wasn't able to stop in time, even though it was a red light. Got extremely lucky. Do not do that. Don't do that. Really dumb. The Ryder Boy, here we go. Riding with a passenger. Lots of crazy traffic. We're going to be passing this vehicle. Not the best. Oh, the person's pushing us out of the way. Person's pushing us out of the way. Do you see that? Don't. They have law of gross tonnage. They're going to push you. All right, mud and asphalt. Here we go. Oh, no. Ensure your own safety on this one because there's going to be a lot of crazy people probably behind you. You guys are probably all racing. Guys, slow it down before the turn. Do not do stupid things like this, okay? We're passing people. We got chevrons right there indicating that it's a sharp turn. What are we doing? What are we doing? Your gear's not going to save you when you wrap yourself around the pole. Dumps the bike. Instant stop right there on concrete. Did he just run him over? No, that was a piece. That was a piece of material. Okay. All right, so we got to rescue this person. He's going to have some major bleeds. I hope not.
Ended up going straight into the guardrail. Luckily, he was okay, but his bike was...
How are these people okay? Are we just saying that, Chaos Riders? Are we just saying that so we don't get demonetized? This guy got hurt. He had to have gotten hurt. And if he didn't, he needs to buy a lottery ticket.
Completely totaled.
All right, so we're going to talk about personal protective gear. This is Unit 2, Lesson 0. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. What's up, everybody? We're going to be jumping into Unit 2. Okay, so we're talking about motorcycle-specific gear. Basically, your full set. Helmet, jacket, pants, gloves, and boots. But right here, I mean, there's a lot going on. Okay, so we have a lot of gear. It's like, what do we get? How do we get it? Everything. It's like, it's very overwhelming, especially if you get the wrong kind of gear. You're kind of stuck with it. You can't really return things after you wear it, especially on the bike. And it's in the terms of service, even at Revzilla. But basically, what we're looking at when it comes to gear is impact protection, abrasion resistance, weather mitigation, and body temperature thermal regulation, basically, because it's really important. So when it comes to abrasion resistance, we don't want to get road rash. Okay, there's lots of different levels of road rash, basically from barely the top of your skin, like a little rug burn, to you're removing flesh, like muscle tissue. It's not fun. So what we need when it comes to gear is good abrasion resistance. And they typically have the abrasion resistance on the jackets on the outside, because when you start tumbling, that's where it is. Same thing with impacts, and we'll talk a little bit about that. On the pants, you're gonna have it on the buttocks, you're gonna have it on the knees, on the sides of the hips. Gloves, you're gonna have it definitely on the knuckles, but you're gonna have reinforced stitching on the, hopefully, on the palms. Boots, pretty self-explanatory to protect your feet, protect your ankles, make sure it's nice and solid so that you're not banging around and actually ripping your ankle off while it's still in the boot. It can happen, I've heard about it. And then helmets, pretty self-explanatory there too, because you don't wanna get a cracked skull. Okay, so that's the impact part, but it still protects for abrasions. You don't want to rip your scalp off or remove your face. I know we're getting pretty dark here, but that's kind of what happens. So impact protection though, on jackets, so impact protection for a jacket where it should be is in your elbows and then your shoulders, and then sometimes they do include back protection. Right here, this is a D30 Armor back protector, but most of the time you'll see a gray piece of foam in there. That's just padding. Okay, you want to get an actual back protector. Okay, and that's how they kind of cheap you out a little bit. Hey, it's a cheap jacket, but the back protector is like $80. Okay, so just kind of anticipate that. So impact protection for impact protection for pants is going to be in the knees. Typically, that's pretty standard. They do offer in the hips, so if you can find some with hip armor, even better, because you don't want to break your pelvis, okay? Your iliac crest right here, you don't want to do that. A lot of blood vessels, your femoral artery goes through there. Break, 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 no, 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 you don't want that. So knee armor, hip armor, and then you got some abrasion resistance on the buttocks. Okay, when it comes to gloves, same thing. You're gonna have in the front, on the knuckles hopefully, and then maybe a little bit on the palm. Not too much when it comes to these. We'll talk more about short cuff and long cuff gloves when it comes to that. Helmet, impact protection, obvious. Okay, so now when it comes to weather mitigation, it's kind of just gonna be a quick little overview of it. So if you ride in the rain, get some rain gear. If you ride in the snow, get some gear it's designed for snow, which is gonna typically be heated gear. Okay, so you're gonna wanna get some gear that's gonna provide external heat, because if you can't produce your own body heat, it's not gonna keep it in. So you wanna have maybe some external gear. But if you're good with layering up, that's fine, because with layers, you can actually start taking layers off when it starts warming up during the day. That's what I typically do with gear here in Tucson, in Arizona. This is all summer gear, but when it gets to winter riding, I just put like Under Armour cold gear. I know, motorcycle brands have their own version of base layers, but start layering up. Get a base layer, get a t-shirt, maybe a long sleeve underneath it. Then you have your jacket, and then it gets, it could help you out there pretty good. So yeah, cold gear, same thing. But yeah, summer gear, you don't want to be wearing all that winter gear during the summer. And so I have, like I said, perforated gear here. This is also a summer jacket. This is Cool Fly Cool Pro 2, so it's designed for this. And then this is the Reax Alta Mesh. Mesh is in the name, so it's actually pretty airy. It flows pretty well. And the goal there is to make it to where I don't overheat. So weather mitigation, it helps out when it comes to your body temperature. So that's what we're also trying to work for, is that we either get gear that's specific to wet riding. We don't want to have to be soaking wet, and then when we're riding 45 miles an hour, to have that evaporative cooling removing our body heat. So if we're able to get rain gear that's going to not pull our heat away because it's just sliding off us because it's Gore-Tex or whatever it is, and we're able to keep that body temperature in, we should be doing fine. If we get too hot, we're gonna get woozy, drowsy, we're dehydrated, we're gonna make bad choices. You ever see anybody dehydrated? They pretty much look like they have a fever, and you're riding a motorcycle. So we don't wanna be super cold, we don't wanna be super hot, we wanna have that right temperature, and what's gonna help you out with that is the right gear. And so we're gonna jump into that kind of stuff. We're gonna talk about helmets next, we're gonna talk about jacket pants, talk about gloves and boots. Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe next time. Thank you guys for watching that crash compilation. And guys, get yourself some gear, get yourself some helmets, and thank you Quadlock for sponsoring that video. But with that said, hope you guys ride safe, ride smart. I'll see you later.